Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news, the death toll from Hurricane Matthew still rising in North Carolina 1 week after the storm hit the state. Searchers have found two more bodies inside cars that were submerged in flood waters. This brings the total number of victims to 26. North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory says most of the people killed in the state either drove or were walking through floodwaters and were swept away. Recovery from the flooding continues. That flooding is now responsible for 43 total deaths in the U.S. Matthew also impacting red tide here on the Sun Coast. Fish kills and respiratory issues present in some areas for beachgoers. ABC 7's Kate Flexter tells us agitation from the storm may be the cause. Kate?
Adam, the latest Florida Fish and Wildlife report shows high concentrations of red tide in certain parts of Sarasota and Manatee counties. It's an issue that stretches all the way from Pinellas County south to Collier County. The National Weather Service tells us that Hurricane Matthew's high winds and strong currents moved that red tide algae bloom from beaches along the Gulf to residential canals. Those high winds also increase the amount of red tide in the air, causing more respiratory irritation. Meteorologists tell us it will take high winds in the right direction to move this bloom, but that's something they don't expect to see for at least 3 to 5 days.
We had Tropical Storm Colin, Hurricane Hermine, and just recently Hurricane Matthew. So each one of those did a little bit different things, and the red tide's been around for most of the summer. So with the wind direction and speed, it pushes it one direction towards shore, maybe away from shore, but it keeps it in the area.
For a link to the latest Florida Fish and Wildlife report and beach conditions, visit our website, mysuncoast.com. Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Kate. Now let's head over to Steve Newman for a first check on our local weather today. Steve, how's it looking out there?
Looking good. There was really no complaints with red tide along the immediate beaches. Bradenton Beach had some minor nose irritation as a result of that, but the rest of the Sun Coast today fortunately didn't have any real problems with red tide. We do have a strong easterly flow, which you would think would keep that red tide blowing offshore, and it continues tonight. We can see some showers out moving across the viewing area tonight, but they're very shallow, not very heavy at all, and they're going to be dissipating overnight. Currently at the airport, it's 80 degrees, dew point 71, so the humidity is back. You can definitely feel it, but there will be a change in the air coming up in a few days. Humidity 74%. Our high this afternoon was 89 degrees, so we're warmer than normal on both counts. The chance of rain for the evening hours goes up and down. I think that may be an anomaly, but I think overall we're going to see a decreasing chance of showers through the evening and overnight hours, and temperatures cooling off into the 70s. I'll have the complete weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Steve. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is trying to reduce the number of overdoses from prescription pills. The Florida Sheriff's Task Force is hosting Operation Pill Drop through next month. The Sheriff's Office will accept unused or expired prescriptions all day, every day. It's an effort to help families properly and safely dispose of unwanted medications that could be accidentally or intentionally misused. The Pill Drop is also an environmentally safe alternative for medication disposal. And while the Sheriff's Office collects unwanted drugs, it's also looking to bring all our cultures together at this year's Culture Fest. Families of all backgrounds came together this afternoon to enjoy music, games, and some sports fun with the Manatee County deputies. The event is part of a large effort to bridge the gap between cultures.
Open up relationships, trade telephone numbers so that if something goes on up here and we need help, they can reach out to us and we can reach out to them.
The Culture Fest even got a bit physical, but that was with a football match between deputies and some local teens. Sarasota police are going digital to combat human trafficking on the Sun Coast. Members of SPD's Street Crimes Unit are now searching popular escort websites online and actively calling girls from local ads. They're trying to offer help and looking for juveniles and victims of human trafficking, providing information about local organizations like Sella Freedom who can give them a way out. Officers aren't trying to arrest anyone, just give them the courage to leave the profession.
There's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of ads online right here in Sarasota.
Keep reaching out. Most of us don't believe that there are any options or any places like that. We're so used to being judged. So when you get a phone call, somebody reaching out and helping, especially from a police department, it's very touching.
Officers have called more than 100 women, connecting about 40 to resources like Selah Freedom and the Human Trafficking Hotline. Down in Nokomis, a handful of locals ran through drills led by law enforcement's elite as part of the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office 7th Annual Corporate SWAT Challenge. Teams play cop for a day while raising money for a good cause. On a busy Saturday morning at Knights Trail Park, dozens learn the hard way that law enforcement is no joke.
For us, you feel the thrill.
Doug Fabiani from Sarasota Dental signs up each year for the thrill, but also to help promote the youth programs of the Sheriff's Activities League.
If you've seen the kids out here before, which they come out every now and again and talk to them, they're good kids. They just need a little bit of a leg up.
12 teams signed up for $1,000 each this year to run the gamut, led by one member of the Sarasota County Sheriff's SWAT team.
We've got a couple of live fire scenarios. We're going to have a scenario in our building over here that they'll go through. They're flipping tires. They're carrying a 150-pound dummy through the obstacle course. They're going through tunnels. They're doing a lot of hard work today.
The proceeds go straight to SAL, which provides unique experiences for area youths who otherwise couldn't afford it.
We definitely are not after numbers. We're more of a quality base. So the kids that we work with, trying to really make a positive impact in their lives as law enforcement officers, and we have that unique opportunity to do that.
But as the event grows into the future, Fabiani hopes the perks for grown-ups grow as well.
More shooting events, hopefully, more explosions, and just more people, more fun.
Since 2010, the Corporate SWAT Challenge has raised $180,000 for the Sheriff's Activities League. The Bradenton Police Department is developing relationships with the community, one cup of coffee at a time. Officers hosted a similar event yesterday at McDonald's on Cortez Road, but held another one today at Chick-fil-A to meet anyone who wasn't able to make it. Officers say developing relationships with the community is an important part of the job.
We sit, we stand, we mingle, we move around. Today being on a Saturday, there's been a lot more kids, so it's been a little bit more fun, a little more energetic. I've seen some of the deputies out there playing with the kids on the playground today.
Bradenton police officers are also looking to build positive relationships with their community through its Walking the Beat program. Officers are getting out of their cars on patrol for at least 4 hours each week. Still to come here on ABC 7, an unsolved mystery in Southwest Florida. Despite efforts made by investigators, questions into the deadly ZombieCon shooting remain unanswered 1 year later.
Need new windows? Buy direct from the factory. New South Window is having a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Buy 4 windows, save 25%. Buy 6 windows, save 30%. Buy 8 or more windows and save 35%. How? Because New South owns the factory and you cut out the middleman. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows and doors installed with a lifetime warranty. New South Windows are made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com or call now.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation, and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts, and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, dining segments, local events, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 specialty programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device and download your free ABC7 app now.
Ugly.
Fat.
Big eyes.
Dweeb.
Useless.
Things that should never be said. Shut it down. We are all beautiful.
We are strong. We are powerful.
Be loud. Be proud.
We have the power to put an end to bullying.
So go ahead, be you.
Be bold. Be different.
Be inspired.
Choose to stand up against bullies.
Choose to be brave. Choose kindness.
Choose kindness.
At ABC 7, it's all about being here for you. ABC 7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
A disappointing ruling for the families of those killed at Sandy Hook. A Connecticut judge has dismissed a lawsuit that the families of those elementary school shooting victims filed against a gun manufacturer. Superior Court Judge Barbara Bellis cited a federal statute known as the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act in her decision. The law prohibits lawsuits against gun manufacturers and distributors if their firearms are used in a crime. An attorney for the family says they are disappointed but will appeal the judge's ruling. It's been almost 1 year since the fatal shooting at a zombie-themed festival in Fort Myers, and still there have been 0 arrests. Fort Myers detectives have interviewed hundreds of witnesses and examined many images and videos, but the killing is still unsolved. Crime Stoppers there has received 150 tips. Police believe someone fired shots into the crowd during the festival. About 20,000 people were at ZombieCon that day. 1 victim died at the scene and 5 others were wounded. Many workers in Florida are about to see an increase in their paychecks. According to the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, the state's minimum wage will rise by 1 nickel an hour beginning next year. It will be $8 then and 10 cents per hour starting January 1st. This is the 5th smallest hourly increase since Florida established a minimum wage in 2005. However, last year there was no increase. And although it's a small bump, Florida's minimum wage is still above the federal minimum wage of $7.25. Our viewers have mixed reactions about the raise. Leslie Phelps writes, it's an entry-level wage for people just starting out in the unskilled labor force. If you want to get more, get an education or more training. Shelley Martucci writes, wow, another 40 cents a day. How can we support our families? Kimberly Jenkins writes, it's more than Georgia is paying. At least Florida is trying something. And Sherry Carter writes, this is a joke. At least raise it to $10 an hour. As the economy rises, so should wages. The annual open enrollment period for Florida's prepaid college tuition program begins today. Prices are slightly up from last year by about 2%. A traditional 4-year university plan will now cost $187 per month, which is up $4 from last year. There are several prepaid tuition options available to fit the budgets of most families. The least expensive tuition plan covers 1 year at a university and costs $47 per month. And it's the beginning of another big season here in Florida. Stone crab season is officially underway. Crab fishermen will begin harvesting stone crabs caught in traps. Those traps must be smaller than 24 inches on each side and can be made from either wood, wire, or plastic. Also, it's illegal to use a trap that can puncture, crush, or injure a stone crab. And harvesting egg-bearing crabs is prohibited. Recreational fishermen need a saltwater license and are limited to 5 traps per person. So make your way to the nearest restaurant that carries those stone crab claws because they are worth it. I'm sure there's already a line forming at a lot of them.
I'm hungry. You're making me hungry, guy.
That's why we're here, right, Steve?
That's right.
To get that seafood and crab season. That's definitely one of those things that I think we get pumped up for here in the area.
And we've had some fairly decent beach weather despite the red tide we had earlier on. But I think that we still have a threat as the temperature of the water cools off. I think the threat of that will get less and less in the next few months.
So cold weather not always good. It comes with a little checks and balances there.
Well, yeah, it'll help with the red tide eventually. Well, let's take a look at the weather outside today. We had a lot of clouds passing by overhead, and you can see the showers were very shallow. They only went up about 1,000 feet in depth. That's why if one of those showers came over you, it didn't last very long and the rainfall was not very heavy. And it's all being controlled by high pressure to the north of us over the Carolinas. You see the winds blowing around that high right across the state, and the showers are widely scattered, as are the clouds you can see in this visual satellite image just before sunset. Just a cloud here and there. It's not an entirely overcast day anywhere in Florida, and it looks like that pattern will last for another day. On our radar locally, a lot of it is moving offshore. Now, the computer is trying to build some more later on this evening in the interior coming over us about 10 o'clock. We'll see if that happens. And we zoom in, there's one area of rain marching right down Fruitville Road toward downtown Sarasota right now. Across the nation, high pressure is in control for the most part, right on from New England over us, the deep south. The storm track is up to the north, so there's nothing really threatening any big changes in the east. So our focus right now is in the west. This is the time of year, if the storms are going to start in California and the west coast, that they start kicking in earnest, and they get stronger and stronger as we move into November, December, and they need it. Remember, they had that extended drought that last year's El Nino helped alleviate, but they need more rain, and this is really nice to get these strong of storms coming at them one after another right on through the weekend. Multi-inch rains and also very windy, I'm afraid. There are wind advisories even in San Francisco Bay and up the northwest coast. The Futurecast shows in the mountains. Look at the blues. That's the snow, the mountain snow falling around Lake Tahoe all the way down to Yosemite and up. That really helps with the watershed too, and it means an early start for the ski season out there around Lake Tahoe and Mammoth and all those great ski resorts. And things will start calming down a little bit, but not before multi-inch rains fall over the weekend. They're going to love this for the most part, other than the wind. Look at this, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain in some of the wettest spots, and the rain snow equivalent well over 4 inches in the Sierra. That's good news for them. For us, we have some good news if you want cooler and drier weather, but it's going to take about a week to get here. High pressure is in control. There's that easterly flow. So for tonight and tomorrow, we'll see scattered showers and no thunder showers, I don't think. The strong flow has blocked that Gulf sea breeze. It's kind of overpowered it, so we're not getting the collision of the two air masses over the state. So it's just these little wimpy little showers that come all the way across Florida, dump a few drops on us and move offshore. That's what we'll see tonight and tomorrow. Maybe a little drier on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then coming back next weekend. Speaking of next weekend, we are going to have some cooler weather and drier weather. But right now, the humidity and warmth are back. It's going to be with us for a few days. Chance of showers, hit and miss, not very heavy, not much to speak of. But cooler next weekend, as a stronger cool front than we saw on Monday coming through, giving us very nice conditions, I think, by next Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Stay tuned for that. If you're going out in the open water tomorrow, it should be a beautiful day with northeast winds 15 knots, seas 2 feet. Bay and inland waters will have a moderate chop, assuming we don't have a bloom of that red tide. 87 the beach temperature, water temperature 80, the UV index 7. Here's my forecast for tonight. Look for those scattered showers to end overnight, then partly cloudy. Our low temperature 73 with northeast winds. And tomorrow, a partly sunny day with a 40% chance of afternoon, evening showers and thunder showers, high 89. And here's the 7-day outlook. Chance goes down on Monday and Tuesday, comes back Wednesday through Friday, and then we cool off starting next Saturday. Adam?
Now, sports.
The Florida State Seminoles trying to keep their ACC title hopes alive at home today against Wake Forest. Bradenton's DeAndre Francois and the Noles hoping to keep the momentum going after a big win in Miami last week. And early on, the defense doing just that. Marquez White jumping the John Walford pass in the first quarter, one of 3 first-half turnovers for Wake Forest. But FSU far from perfect. Second quarter, Dalvin Cook fumbles on a screen play over the middle. Wake Forest recovers and kicks a field goal, tying the game at 3. But later on, off a muffed punt by the Demon Deacons, Francois on the play fake runs it in with nothing but daylight ahead of him. The defense for the Noles remains stout, and Florida State wins it 17-6. The Florida Gators hosted the University of Missouri Tigers today in Gainesville. Quarterback Luke Del Rio struggling a little bit in his return to this offense. 3 interceptions to go along with 1 touchdown, but this Gator defense forcing 2 interceptions of their own. That one going for a touchdown. They beat Missouri 40-14. And a man from East Tennessee has an unusual way to celebrate college football this weekend. Jamie Beckler's father passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2008. The father-son duo watched every University of Tennessee football game together. Jamie takes the time once every few months to create an orange and white checkerboard pattern in front of his father's grave. He says it takes him about an hour, but the painting the Tennessee pride brings him closer to his late father. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
It's time to upgrade your favorite news app. Now, ABC7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a dynamic brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Stay connected anytime, anywhere with breaking news and weather alerts, video on demand, and live streaming of your Suncoast News. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store. ABC7's all-new My Suncoast News app. Just another way we're here for you. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
My name's Emma. I am 15. I was bullied all through middle school. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and an eating disorder.
It's like I'm stuck. It's like impossible to move. And I just feel like people just will think I'm making it up.
You need to tell someone because people do care and you're not alone. I don't think depression makes me a bad person. I think it makes me stronger.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights. ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.